Okay, hi Olympus teachers. Mrs. Howard here for another episode of The More You Know. So here's the tea, and here's how it went down. So a million years ago, probably 15, I want to say 15 years ago, we had a very, what's the word for an administrator who is too involved and gets too, anyway, we had one of those. And he thought there was going to be like an earthquake or whatever, and that we would need to have like an emergency supply of food and water for every student. So he created these buckets. We had buckets, and they had a hard they had a hard hat in the bucket for the teachers. No hard hats for children because that would be too cumbersome. And granola bars and something else in there for emergency. Um, this is like, okay, so imagine you have to put on your vest, you have to put on your hard hat, you have to take the bucket, you have to take the roll, and then meet out on the lawn like we always do um, for like fire drills and stuff like that. Okay, so once upon a time, okay, so it kind of got out of control because if you'll remember, I don't know if you remember Rob Ruff. He was the PE teacher. Him and uh, Scott Gregory, rest in peace, Scott. They decided to punk all of the new teachers that year. And you know how Amazon, when you get an Amazon package and they have the air, like the bags of air so that the package doesn't like scramble around in the package. So they decided to place those bags in the buckets as an emergency oxygen supply. So they, so they, every new teacher that year, and I can't remember who was new. It was so funny. They had to not only carry the bucket out, but they had to also carry the emergency bag of oxygen, the supply of oxygen. So it was like ridiculous amounts of air that they had to carry around. Anywho, that's what I thought was funny about when Heather just asked about the emergency supply of food, and that's what brought that to mind. But anyway, we no longer do buckets, we no longer do hard hats, we no longer do oxygen, emergency oxygen air supply. So anyway, that's what I thought was funny. Okay, love you more than my luggage. Bye bye.